interact. Here we go. Hello. Anyway, I'm a couple, casually swipes hair back. Hello, I'm a couple weeks later doing this than I wanted to initially. But I believe the big main Tumblr Sexy Person contest is coming up June 1st. I've been following the the blog that did the Tumblr Sexy Jester poll, and this is basically the March Madness of Tumblr Sexy Men. That's we're about to go into. And I just wanted to react to KayMarie, and if anyone somehow accidentally stumbles upon me and doesn't already follow someone with a much bigger audience, you know, I point you right to her. She has a lot of Hollow Stars clips, so recommended. And I already pre-watched a little bit of this video to decide if I wanted to make, you know, a react. And without further ado, I did.
Man. What Wikipedia describes as a fictional character that gains wide popularity as a sex symbol. Characters described as Tumblr sexy men are typically villainous or otherwise unusual, although the criteria for what qualifies as a Tumblr sexy man varies greatly. Urban Dictionary echoes a similar definition, but adds on the asterisk that Tumblr sexy men are typically not conventionally attractive. The definition for what any given person you ask will think qualifies as a Tumblr sexy man varies greatly from person to person. Just ask Hollow Stars English member Maggie Desmond, for example.
You think of the Tumblr sexy man. You have Sans Undertale, got it? You have the Onceler, the guy who cuts down the trees in the Lorax. I think that the...
And then every girl on Tumblr wanted to fell that man like a tree, wanted him to fell himself like those trees, if you catch my drift.
Irony has been lost on you. Tumblr sexy men are not sexy. You understand?
Not traditionally, at least.
Many characters are considered
Oh, it's the
Tumblr
twink
sexy
himself.
men, but not many can officially say they won a
Sans.
Tumblr sexy man competition.
I remember when Sans won, I'm pretty sure it was the one Sans won, where Queen Elizabeth II immediately passed away. The same day. That was... And then I think another one got the Pope. It's happened at least twice, is my point. You can see the memes about it. Those those are real. You can just look up, and you can find the ones where the news gets delivered with Castiel to Dean Supernatural in that I Love You scene. They changed the dialogue to be like, oh, the sexy Tumblr man poll and also a famous world leader passed away.
The most official way to determine a Tumblr sexy man, of course, but...
And then, see, there's this wide variety, or, yeah, a wide variety, where they're not, because it's not a traditional, you know, conception, they're either really long, like this fucking guy, or
let's narrow down the scope of Tumblr sexy.
They're really, really tiny and stout, like Bill Cipher. The triangle, the supernatural demonic triangle, that everyone wants to get fucked by it.
For a second.
Apparently.
And really do a deep dive into one of the larger categories of Tumblr sexy men. Because the journey...
Little Homestuck Scrunklies. Homestuck, the webcomic that forever haunts the narrative of my life.
We are about to go on deals with one very, very specific genre of Tumblr sexy men. Jesters and clowns. You heard me right. There are a plethora of jester and clown characters, and just by virtue of being a jester or clown, a character is usually seen as quirked up enough to almost guaranteed be considered a Tumblr sexy man. There are so many jesters and clown, in fact, that it warranted an entire competition dedicated to crowning the Tumblrist and sexiest man of all jesters. But what started as a simple and fun Tumblr poll managed to break containment of the site and lead
as things do many times throughout
to
history.
one of the Dark Horse competitors to go on a hot streak through the entire competition. And that Dark Horse competitor? None other than Gavin, VTuber from Hollow Stars English. For those of you already subscribed to this channel, you are probably already wildly familiar with Gavin. I post many a stream clip of him here. But you may also be wondering, KayMarie, why are you making this video? This isn't a VTuber clip, and I am most certainly not a video essay creator. Well, this is a very unprecedented video.
And it's very good, honestly, for for being, the first time. It really hits the spot, honestly. Got the editing style down, I think.
Format for me, but I felt uniquely qualified to talk about this topic because, believe it or not, the
It's
spark
her
that
fault.
ignited the flames of battle that would take Gavin to the final round of the Tumblr Jester Clown Sexy Man competition would happen on this very channel.
She
Before
caused
I get
it.
into the details of this historic internet event,
Marketable
some of
plushie.
you out there are probably asking
Don't you
the
just wanna dunk him in milk and toss him against the wall?
question, who is Gavin? To anyone not locked into the corporate VTuber sphere, it seemed like this Ikemen anime character suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and he also happened to have thousands of fans? So what's his deal? To those who are uninformed, here's a little quick TLDR on our main character, Gavin. Gavin is a male VTuber
Gravy
under
baby.
Cover Corp, one of the largest and most successful VTuber companies, who is widely known for hosting VTuber group Hololive, which has Japanese, English, and Indonesian branches, as well as an English and Japanese branch.
Shout out Indonesia.
Named Hollow Stars, their male VTuber units. Gavin would go on to debut in January of 2023 in Hollow Stars English second group Tempest Vanguard, along with members Machina X,
More like Twink Guard.
and Josuigi Shinri. The four of them would join Tempest members Axel Sirios and Regis Altair, and now graduated members Vesper Noir and Magni Desmond in the
Rip in peace, my boys.
the Tempest Guild. They would later be joined by four more members in the English branch in a guild named Armis, and the fandom name for Hollow Stars EN as a whole is called Starmin. Very in theme with his jester persona.
I miss. They need to do this again. I miss WrestleTuber. If I could look up in the sky and ask for one thing, if anybody ever knew who I was, that I could participate in this somehow. You can see on my Twitch channel, actually, if you go back and you see VOD highlights, it's all WWE 2K stuff from like 7 years ago. The very first time I ever tried to be a streamer.
Is most commonly known for his max luck stat, with his luck swinging wildly from godlike to non-existent. As demonstrated most significantly as him being the winner of Doki Bird's 2024 WrestleMania competition, a completely random chance event, only to lose to a surprise competitor right at the end about 20 seconds after his victory.
He had the title for 14 seconds!
Apart from being a devilishly handsome jester VTuber, he's really not all that different from your average Twitch streamer. His content is widely seen as variety, commonly found playing a wide range of games from Souls-likes, hero shooters, League of Legends, horror games,
League of Legends,
GTA roleplay, and everything in between. His fan base is called the Battalion, which I will commonly use in this video, and are depicted as little imps.
Critters?
Battalion also enjoy lovingly referring
Critters
to him
detected?
as any word that starts with G followed by any word that starts with a B. So if you've seen anyone talking about the competition refer to someone called Gerber Baby, a
Gerber
Wonder,
Baby.
Gravy Basket, Garbage Beetle, and etc., that's all referring to the same guy, Gavin. Also,
Garbage
as a general
Beetle.
disclaimer on the tone of this video essay, I did not observe this poll as some neutral third party. I am obviously a battalion,
Me neither.
and I will be telling the
Me
story through
neither.
the eyes of the battalion as a whole, which will clearly affect my stances and opinions on the events unfolding over the course of this poll. I know there are many sides to this story from other fandoms involved, and I quite frankly don't know much about what was happening there, so just keep that in mind for the overall story.
I know I kind of know what was happening. The Amazing Digital Circus side. But yeah, there was a lot of contestants for things that I have not tried yet. But but yeah, I there was also the fucking cookie, which is from a game I actually do play. But we'll get into the cookie. She'll get into it.
And now that that's been established, let's go back to the very beginning of this whole event. The beginning of the Tumblr Sexy Man, Jester, and Clown contest. We first start this saga a little further back in time than you might expect, on February 8th, 2026, when Tumblr user Sexy People Contest 2026, also known as Mimosa, hosted a Google form for submissions for the Sexy Jester Clown contest. These submissions would be open for about a month, and they
Let's see.
For the Sexy Jester Clown contest. These submissions
Hugh Morris, Jevil, Pomni, Shadow Milk Cookie, Dementio,
will be open for
Fitzaroli, Harley Quinn, Classic, Pietro, Nicola Orsinov,
about a month.
Spinel,
They announced the final list of
Marks,
contestants.
Kaufmo, Clown Pierce, Nikolai Gogol, Ronald McDonald, Laughing Jack, Pennywise,
On March 31st.
Cicero, Prototype,
With
Chuckles,
round 1 of the competition
Sandown. Holy shit, a cryptid? I did not expect. Well, I should have expected. But I didn't remember them being in there, being submitted. Admittedly, I came into the poll late. I only realized the poll was happening, when the aforementioned cookie, showed up.
Immediately. Consisting of
Hisoka, that's a pretty good one. Sweet Pickles, Bitter Giggle, Sundrop, Muppet Joker,
a whopping
Art the
48
Clown, April from Monster Prom, yes, Gavis Battle,
clowns all vying for the title
Twinkle, Lego Joker, yeah.
Tumblr Sexy Man. Round 1 would come to pass without much excitement. No big upsets were caused yet, and the poll was progressing as would be expected from a Tumblr Sexy Man poll. The likes of Hugh Morris, Pomni, Shadow Milk Cookie, Harley Quinn, and Tumblr's own icon, Muppet Joker, also known as the Croaker, would go on to easily win the first round of the competition, and our main character, Gavis Battle, would manage to barely scrape out a win against creepypasta icon Laughing Jack.
And the fact he did so set the whole thing up. I actually, look at those less than 5,000 votes. Less than 5,000 people voted on this. I swear, if this was any earlier than 2026, okay, if this was any earlier, Laughing Jack would have had this. 100%, not even kidding. Creepypasta used to be such a huge thing. There was this guy, there was Slender Man, there was Jeff the Killer, there was Jane the Killer, 20,000 different Jeff the Killer wannabes. Everyone wanted to be the fucking little proxy weirdos from the Marble Hornets and serve the Slender Man. And then stuff happened. Yeah. Not good. I still hold on to this, though, because that was just, yeah. These memories. But yeah, they fit with the villainous archetype, which was a big, part of it. Uh, of the Tumblr sexy conception. Love, Tumblr creatures love a villain. And so, that guy. But then, but then, but then, but then, a brand new villain threw a wrench in the usual.
The world was at peace and the battlefield was quiet. There were no disturbances in the Tumblr ecosystem. Yet. But peace wouldn't last long, and I don't think anyone was expecting the battle that was about to be fought.
And Jevil winning over Pennywise. Like, you think, the benefit of Pennywise is that fucker's got a gigantic cranium, right? But no, Jevil beat him, because he's just a little guy.
And that would bring us to round 2 of the competition. Round 2 of the Tumblr Sexy Man Jester Clown competition would begin on April 8th. And on the same day, I would go on to post this YouTube short on this very channel, Gavin Goes to Costco. A fun and silly short, simply editing a scene together from Bettle's most recent week in review, his weekly Zatsu, or Just Chatting stream. I just thought it was funny and want to make a really cute short that was highly edited, so I edited the clip together, and it's simple as that. It is also one of my favorite videos I've ever edited. I'm actually really proud of it, and also one of the most well-performing shorts as well. And because it was such a well-performing short, that means it left the target audience just a little bit. And in doing so, I would receive this comment on the YouTube short from user LoopLoop8725 on April 10th.
Got alerted to it.
I saw this guy on a jester version of the Tumblr Sexy Man competition. Once I saw this comment, thinking it was such a funny concept, I immediately sent it over to one of my Discord servers of close friends. A Shiki Karagami themed Discord server, by the way. One of my friends, who you may also know as Twitter user Penny Peach, was immediately able to track down said Tumblr Sexy Man poll. And it took almost no discussion at all before we all knew. We had to alert Twitter to this competition. And this would change everything. Peach would go on to tweet about the Tumblr Jester Sexy Man competition, and this tweet would go viral. Well, about as viral as a tweet about a VTuber fighting for his life in a Tumblr Sexy Man competition.
Fighting for his life.
Several of our other friends would all go on to share this poll to Twitter as well. And from there, the reach of this one initial post would spread, and spread, and spread, reaching all ends of the battalion and also the Howl Stars fandom as a whole.
This person was created. He just spawned in one day, and now we don't know what to do with him.
Where the results of our work was fast to be visibly seen on the poll results, as Gavin would start to close the gap. Gavin himself will become aware of this poll and the fandom's activity later that day on April 10th during a Hollow Stars EN Super Smash
over a month ago,
where he would randomly make the following comment offhand in the middle of the collab.
I'm browsing Twitter on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I'm getting mogged by a cookie on Twitter. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting mogged by a cookie.
What's funny is what he didn't know at this time was that he, in fact, wasn't getting mogged by a cookie on Twitter. He himself was mogging a cookie on Tumblr because he was now winning the poll. When myself and my friends first came across this poll, Gavin was getting his ass beat by Shadow Milk Cookie, a jester-like character from the game Cookie Run Kingdom, losing by quite a large margin of 30%. And a lot of the votes he had at this time weren't even people who were fans of Gavin Spettle. It was mostly people who absolutely despised
the hater game. Shadow Milky Sue. I've never heard of Gavis in my life. Oh my god. Shadow Milkies.
Shadow milk cookie.
You know what's crazy about this? I look at it, it's like 15,000 votes, right? 15,000 votes. So I'm like, okay, so 3% of that is battalion, but there's like 85% people voting for fucking Gavis Battle on Tumblr. They don't even know who I am. I don't know the Cookie Run Kingdom lore. I don't know the Cookie Run Kingdom community. I was looking at like responses because I was like, okay, 15,000 votes. Gavis Battle's winning. Why? And I looked deeper and I looked inside and people were like, fuck this fucking cookie. This cookie piece of shit deserves. I don't even know who this guy is, but fuck this stupid piece of shit cookie. He is evil and he deserves to die. And I'm like, dude, and then I'm like, I dug deeper and people are like, why do they hate this cookie so much? And people are like, corporate greed. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not about to get into the statistics and the Dow or whatever of Cookie Run Kingdom. Okay?
The lore. I'm sorry, but it's just very funny. The concept of hating a cookie that badly. He's a fucking... Oh, I don't even care what he did. He's a cookie.
Okay.
But over the course of the day, the tides of battle would shift.
But whatever. Yeah, send the firing squad after him, honestly. Deserved.
Over 24 hours later, Gavis Battle would not only rapidly close the gap on this poll, he would close the gap until he tied the poll, and then, suddenly, he was winning. After the collab ended, he would take to Twitter with thoughts of his own on the matter, igniting the flames even more as he told the battalion to tear that cookie asunder. And oh boy,
yes,
did
sir.
we sure listen. We had already maintained a lead, but we were not done fighting.
Gallbladder.
We knew we had to hold the line and secure his success and passage into the next round. And of course, I couldn't end this segment without talking about all of the shenanigans involving #BettleMilk, the newly formed ship name between...
Not yet. They did draw you kissing the... Oh,
Gavis Battle and Shadow Milk,
I love it.
Which he would become aware of, by the way, by fellow VTuber Giga as well. And while this doesn't really have much...
I am not clicking. Oh, you're not clicking it. It's for us to click, baby. It's for us to click.
An impact on the actual competition. I just think it's such a silly little side plot in the grand scheme of things. I just wanted to include it here. Because the votes for Battle became pouring in at such a rapid pace and seemingly came out of nowhere,
kill
a lot of
him.
people on Tumblr were wildly confused as to what was happening with this poll. The Gavis Battle versus Shadow Milk Cookie poll had 3 times more votes than some of the other polls in the same round. Eventually, it did become known that this specific poll had broken the containment of Tumblr and made its way into the hands of the Twitter and YouTube communities. And some people were not happy about this. There were people who were enraged that this competition was being tainted for votes coming from outside the site, and thought this to be rigging or voter manipulation. Mimosa, the poll curator, did not share this opinion at all.
Yeah, and neither do I, because it's... Because... I mean, Tumblr feels like it's this tiny little self-contained, little sub-universe. This little pocket dimension, like where I live. And it is, mostly. But, like, if you vote in the poll on Tumblr, you have to sign up for a Tumblr account. You have to start, acclimating to the Tumblr brainworm. The humble Tumblr brainworms. I mean, it's growth. And it's not like they're bots. They're just like, stream viewers.
And the battalion had also started to adopt them into the fandom as well. After all, no one was botting the poll or paying...
Yes. this true ex-Tumblrina, and but I would be shocked. No, not would be. I was shocked when I learned that there were Battalion, that there were Starmen who were not Tumblr users at any point. Like, who didn't, like, I just feel like, it was a natural, hand in hand. You were in this environment with the with these mobile games and these webtoons and this terminally online brain rot and this yaoi, that you would naturally find VTubers. I mean, that's that's partially like my story. So like,
for votes, people were either logging into their old
I guess I was just projecting in certain cases, but it is true. There are many of us, dozens, I
Tumblr
hear.
accounts for the first time in years or making a new account just for this poll. All of these votes ultimately were coming from real people.
The VTuber Twing told us to tear the cookie asunder. Best way he could have phrased it, honestly.
And if anything, it was bringing more traffic back onto Tumblr itself.
Yes. The ecosystem. Flee Twitter. Return to the mines.
But for those who were participating in this poll from the
Just tell how some Twitter bitches.
other side, for those not coming from the VTuber community, you might be thinking, why did we care so much? What caused us to laser focus in on a random Tumblr sexy man poll and fight for our beloved VTuber to win like our lives depended on it? Well, to understand the state the Battalion, the Starman,
Oh shit, yeah. His favorite Popeye's Terzo, he's had at least 2 ghost. Yes, that's
the wider VTuber community were
go my minions. Oh hey, 2008 electronic mail. I know about that.
Bowl. We have to go back in time a few days to April 3rd, approximately a week before stumbling across this poll, when the Battalion and Starman would be hit with devastating news. Mark would leave NCT. Okay, well, kidding, obviously. But no joke, these two events happened on the exact same day.
Oh god.
And having come from an ex-K-pop stan background myself, it was like I was...
I mean, I already pre-watched this part, obviously. So I knew. I got about halfway through before deciding that I didn't want to do this. But also very common, extremely common route was into K-pop. Oh, there are boy idols over here, and they're virtual and anime this time? Oh, sign me up.
Seeing 2 disasters happening at once in most of my online communities.
But yeah, oof.
But let's get back on track and get serious again. On April 3rd, Cover Corp would release an official statement in both Japanese and English, revealing they had made the business decision to perform a massive downsizing of Holostar's GP, essentially cutting off all of those members' fundings and access to company resources.
Financially, if they were losing, makes sense, from that perspective. But like they kind of worked themselves into like a corner with a couple mistakes, in my opinion. And now, since this video has come out, a few of them have, the JP Stars boys have announced, like half of them are, ceasing their streaming activities. A few of them are going to continue under the same name on a voice acting project they're on. so they'll stop streaming and then they'll stop, whenever that stops, that roll. But yeah, there's posts going around, uh, support them while they're still here. And if they reappear somewhere, find them there too if you like them. I will. There's a couple of them got saved in my back pocket
It
for.
came as a complete smack in the face to both the VTubers of HoloStars and their fan
But
bases
yeah,
to be downsized to.
yeah, there were. Uh, but yeah, on the I get it, but I also get from the boys' perspective even more because I'm a camera yapper. I yap in front of a camera, so do they. They want dance an equal chance for the resources, the 3D lives, and it's just I get the frustration because it is frustrating, and it's we've been coping with it as a fan base, and they've been, you know, they've been doing their best still.
To this extent, these members were now essentially stuck in a company without being able to receive any of the benefits this company was there to provide them with. As HoloStars EN shares management with HoloLive EN and not HoloStars JP, this did not directly affect Gavis Battle and the HoloStars English boys as of yet, but this didn't mean the fandom didn't feel the weight of this decision. Many fans of HoloStars EN were also fans of a lot of the HoloStars JP boys. Many HoloStars members were already fairly transparent and
because they were like, before there was EN, there was JP, they're the foundation. If none of them were there, our beloved clown wouldn't be there. Neither would all these others.
expressing their frustrations with management decisions that came from Cover Corp.
Man, I'm really trying to control my words right now because I am not happy.
And I'm sorry if my emotions or my way of talking doesn't match what I'm about to say. We all have different ways of dealing with shit. But I do have the right to be really fucking upset.
Yeah.
That I would say.
This is where I start being a little petulant bitch for a second, so bear with me. Basically, to me, this is just the latest and possibly final straw on fucking a huge fuck off pile of hay that just blots out the sun like some monument to corporate stupidity. And when I heard about this situation with the JP boys a bit ago, I was mad. I was already mad.
Yeah, and he would have been. I mean, the reason he's able to I guess be composed enough that any of them are is they got noticed before we did. So we had time to sit a little bit more.
Bad enough as it is. I don't know. I'm just fully pissed off at the treatment of the JP boys, and this has been a real turning point for me. And I want you to know how serious that is. Don't mistake my gallows humor for complacency, because I am pissed. I'm angrier than I've been in a long time, and that's saying something.
And multiple talents were very quick to state that they weren't sure what the future for the EN.
Yeah, and as long, I don't know, as long as management's open, I think, to the criticism, amenable to the, listening to people when they say, you kind of fucked up, then, that's what you can really ask for, is hope they, work out stuff that works for everybody. And it sounds like they did, mostly,
branch was at this point.
We just gotta keep working hard, because if we stop working hard, it's just the obvious is gonna come. It's gonna be similar outcome as the JP Stars boys, and I'm not saying they didn't work hard or anything. It's just unfortunate that things had to end up like this on their side, but you know, if we don't work fucking harder than what we are doing right now, you know, we might have to face the same consequences. Who knows? Like,
following this announcement.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, the little break, understandable. But then he came back on to do a like a Homestuck troll stream that was fun. Oh, that was a good one. But yeah, the weight is evenly distributed, shall we say.
Many of the talents undercover corps from all branches would begin to voice their frustration with this decision, and support would come pouring out from VTubers all over as well, from other corporate VTubers to indies.
Give the Hollow Stars JP boys as much support as they deserve, and then some. If there's anybody who can vouch for how wonderful these men are, how inviting and how incredibly talented they are, I can vouch for that. Success in this world is unfortunately defined and controlled
by money,
by a lot of different things.
Hey, if you guys really do love the boys, JP or EN, you know, just give him some love.
The fandoms were outraged, and no one was really happy with this decision. The Hollow Stars fandoms were at an all-time low, and it was...
Yeah, everyone, God. I mean, people... It's sort of a... You know, a fandom, a certain segment of the fandom doesn't get, all of the people who work their asses off. You know, it could be their Oshi. Like, if you... Like, it's okay, you don't have to spend your time if you don't wanna. But, Bales, Hakos Bales, Kodeji Ali, Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, all cite, Hollow Stars. It's very, you know, enmeshed. It's very, you know, one begets another and supports the other. So I don't know. People be causing all sorts of just hot takes just for Twitter engagement.
It's hard to find anything positive to do in a situation like this. But if I know anything about the Hollow Stars fandom,
Mori,
we always look for light in
Apollo.
the dark. So we began to organize.
I know that in the middle of hardship is when people's true colors show. In the middle of hardship is when our spirit shines the brightest. And I'm with you guys in every step of the fucking way.
People started going out of their way to support the Japanese Hollow Stars boys in droves, with people sharing fan art, their favorite stream clips, covers, other music performances, sharing ways on how to learn Japanese and other tools to use for real-time translation, and favorite moments from their collabs with the Hollow Stars EN boys. The talents in Hollow Stars JP did not want to give up at all, and were very determined to keep working hard for their fan bases in spite of the disrespect they were just shown and the limited resources they now had. And I honestly found that to be incredibly admirable of them. And their determination and positivity in such a dark time really touched the entire fandom. Everyone from all corners of the Hollow Stars fandom were more determined than ever to support their Oshis. Now, I could go on and on about this entire situation for like another 2 hours and really get down in the weeds if I wanted to here, but I'm trying to keep it as brief as possible because this is the Tumblr Jester Sexy Man competition video.
Yeah, Lord knows I've already spent like 10 minutes.
I'd say and we don't want to
commenting
get
on
too
this
deep
part.
in the weeds of the business and all of the depression that happened in the Hollow Stars fandom. So after all that, let's go back to the Tumblr Sexy Man contest after this brief tangent. But now you do understand the state our fandom was in when this poll landed in our laps. We were going through one of the most depressing times we had ever experienced, and we were looking for any way imaginable to promote and support our Oshis. Enter the Tumblr Jester Sexy Man poll, and we latched onto this poll hard. And us sharing this poll so much and so often and attempting to drag our sopping wet cat Jester VTuber to victory was the perfect way for us to promote our Oshi and redirect our rage into something more positive and productive. We would make Gavin's battle on Tumblr Sexy Man, even if he didn't really fit the bill of what a typical Tumblr
This
Sexy
dusty
Man was or was
K-pop
supposed
account.
to be. That didn't matter to us. We were going to do everything in our power to get Gavis Battle the win in this competition, and he himself was 100% on board.
15,000 votes for Gavis Battle and the cookie total, but now that the cookie lost, they're like, there should be some mutual respect. We fight together. We fight together!
Once he obtained his lead in this poll, the gap between the two would decrease over the course of the next week, but he would still manage to hold on to a large enough lead until the next week when the round 2 polls would close, guaranteeing him passage into round 3 of the competition. We had won the battle, but not yet the war, and boy were we not prepared for the uphill battle that was coming Gavis Battle's way. We had just finished a hard-fought battle against the notorious Shadow Milk Cookie of Cookie Run Kingdom, and honestly, it was hard. It felt like a battle of this degree shouldn't be happening in round 2 of this competition. But then again, in another universe, this wouldn't have even been a battle at all if this poll had never made its way to the hands of the battalion on Twitter in the first place, and Gavis Battle would have gotten his face stomped into the ground by Shadow Milk Cookie. But regardless, we had pulled off what we thought was a massive feat, and we were ready to attack the next round of the competition with the
David versus Goliath, and then
ferocity that we had in round 2. That was until we saw who we were up against. Pomni.
Goliath's even more powerful sister shows up.
Of the amazing digital circus. Arguably one of the most popular animated series that exists right now. And Pomni being probably the most iconic jester in the current digital age.
I saw who I'm up against after the cookie. Pomni from the Amazing Digital Circus. I am fucked. I am fucked. It is over. I don't care if I am ahead right now. It is cooked. I cannot think of I cannot think of like, okay, modern day Tumblr. Who do I think of? Thinking. I mean, I think Sans, but that's not modern. It has to be Pomni. That has to be the #1 Tumblr icon. I'm fucked. It's over. But I want to put up a fight. I don't want it to be too much of a wash, you know?
In round 2, Beto had become one of the frontrunners of the competition, and if we were able to keep the votes pouring in the way that we had, we would have a chance of taking home this entire thing. How are we ever meant to win if we had to fight the other frontrunner of the competition in round 3? But alas, bracket-style competitions are always...
Oh, it's her. Geiru Tornado. I mean, if it was traditionally, traditional sexy anime character, Geiru probably would have had it. She's got well, they're fake, but see, this is an example of of what I was saying before, right? Pomni is small. She is short. She is scrungly. Okay, those are the important traits. And so it is ironic that God's blunder is anime ikemen.
bound to have matchups like this, where two titans fight each other in early rounds and one of them gets left behind in the dust fallen too soon. And we were convinced. This was the end of the road for Gavis Battle. I will admit, it's almost a little bit sad how quick we were to all throw the towel on this round. I mean, we were already accepting defeat hours after the round had even started. And we did start off losing, by quite a large margin at that, but that was the kind of thing we were expecting. This battle wasn't even going to be a battle. We sure as hell weren't going to go down fighting though. But we had started to come to terms with the fact that this was going to be it. But then...
And I was one of those. Right here, right when the tide is turning. I was like, prayer in a dream.
The tides turned. We were
Hail
able to keep the
Mary.
momentum up, keeping people excited. And we were actually able to pull ahead of Popney for a little bit. And then we started losing again, which we honestly still expected to happen, but the gap was at least much smaller than we were anticipating now. It held steady at about a 45-55 split for quite some time. Gavin himself was also fully committed to this poll and to our cause now, having made several of his Zatsus completely about campaigning for and talking about said poll.
That's so crazy.
And we could maybe make this work. 15,000 votes for Gavis Battle and the cookie total, but now that the cookie lost, they're like, there should be some mutual respect. We fight together. We fight together.
Summon the cookie. The cookie kingdom.
We had the cookie run kingdom.
And here he is in his more
voted against their own kin for the greater good of jester kind. And now we unite for a common interest to not get canceled by the amazing digital circus fandom.
He was so in on the bit now.
Niji Sanji VTuber Gavis. That's what you get when fucking your news headlines are auto fucking generated by Grok.
And he had risen to be the general leading the
Apes together strong.
By the way, he was also rapidly gaining new fans from this entire ordeal, reaching the 200,000 subscriber milestone over the course of this round of the competition, and then going on to advertise the poll during his celebratory karaoke rebroadcast. Many people, including the poll maker Mimosa and other people from the Tumblr sphere, had begun looking into Beetle and Hollow Stars, and they were charmed by him now.
I've never come to one of your streams before. But I'm free from Tumblr. Nice to meet you. You're winning round 3 right now, by the way. I gotta get into that. Tootsie, thank you so much. Prince of the Azure Sky, welcome. Welcome. Yes, I'm Gavis Battle, a voice to the face. The current reigning champion of the Jester Tumblr sexy whatever. Forget it. Texy Chumbler man. Okay.
And as someone who has been a fan of him for a while, I can't say I'm that surprised. And while all of us, Gavis Battle included, knew this was all just in good fun, we were all kind of really hoping he would win this entire thing. Like, would any of us be that exceptionally mad if he lost? No. It simply was not that serious. But I would be lying if I said it wouldn't have been a little disappointing to see him lose at any point. But, above all else, this poll was bringing so much whimsy back into my life, and I can't speak for everyone else, but I know many others also.
This made me really happy.
The rest of the week had passed with a bunch of us mostly resigned to the fate that this was going to be the end of the line for Gavis Battle. He knew this too, and he was calling all of the battalion that he could into battle. The gap wasn't that large, but we didn't think we had the numbers to close it in the time that was left. But within the last final days of the competition, we all made
vote if you value my life.
Reaching out to other reaches of the VTuber fandoms, begging and pleading anyone who
he's so dramatic. I love it.
would listen to humor us and our stupid cause. And the other fandoms heard our pleas. Niji Sanji.
Yes.
VTubers from another corporation would be the ones to come to our rescue. They had heard us, and they were here to be our saviors. Alira Pandora was the first of the Niji Sanji livers to help advocate for our cause, and she was followed by none other than Shuya
I am killed if I don't. Yeah, that's what happened to the cookie. They took him out back.
And then UQ Wilson. Other corporate VTubers would join in as well, such as Ash Cariel from First Stage Production, and other indie VTubers who are known friends of Gavis Battle, such as Lambriel and Apollo Bugman, were quick to come to aid as well. And with the wider VTuber community now fighting alongside us, we were making a comeback. Also, I do want to make this clear just for transparency's sake for everyone who is not familiar with the corporate VTuber landscape, because I really don't want to be misleading. This is not like the most shocking occurrence in the world. Showdown. And it is rather common for VTubers from Hollow Stars, Nijisanji, First Stage Productions, and other corporations to collab with each other often, and there are also many well-known friendships that span all three of these companies. So like, for Nijisanji to come to our rescue here in the poll is not like some kind of world-shattering event, but to see VTubers from other companies joining in and supporting us,
it's nice. It's nice ultimately.
in this silly little Tumblr poll was honestly just super cute to see. This whole ordeal wasn't anything serious at all, but I think at this point in time, a lot of people in the larger VTuber community had become really endeared to Beetle and to the Tumblr Sexy Man poll. We all wanted to see him win. Whether or not people happen to be fans of him or not, he was the general leading the charge into uncharted territory, and a win for Gavis Beetle was a win for VTubers. What was once seen as an unfillable gap suddenly closed, and then Gavis Beetle pulled ahead yet again, pulling out yet another win at the last minute in a very tight race. We had somehow managed to take down one of the biggest internet titans of jesters, something that we had seen as impossible just days ago.
The jester of all time.
Victory in this entire competition started to feel real. And in what was maybe a fit of blind power, seeing as how we had somehow managed to turn the tides of an unwinnable battle twice now, we then began to think of the...
Oh, it happened again. What is... Let me just...
bigger picture, what competitors we would have to face down the road, and what battles we could maybe avoid altogether. And so, we made one last push. Not on the Beetle versus Pomni poll, but on a different poll entirely. Jevil from Deltarune versus the Croaker versus Cicero from Elder Scrolls. Cicero was pretty far out of the running at this point, but
oh, the fact that they got a three-way there, that's so funny. And God, Jevil would have been...
But we saw a golden opportunity to take advantage of this poll. We would take Jevil out of the running right here and now. And so, one of my friends, Softo, started to make the push for people to vote for Croaker and to knock Jevil out of this competition now. Jevil was another one of the frontrunners of this competition, so taking him out prematurely would have been only beneficial to us. But
my ex-wife is worried about me.
Croaker would overall just be funnier. And with our victory firmly secured in the Pomni poll at this point, we were able to shift the course of this poll as well, just barely getting the Croaker a win in round 3, progressing him onto round 4, and knocking Jevil out of this competition. And now, with 2 hard-fought battles under our belt in round 3 of this competition, we were ready to attack the semi-finals. Our battle wasn't over yet. We still had one more round to make it through before the finale of this competition, and it was about to be our hardest fought battle yet.
April flower, or showers, rather.
And there were only 6 competitors left in the bracket at this point. Beetle was quick to have a celebratory Zatsu, celebrating his win and also honoring his fallen competitors.
With each victory comes great wealth to my people, the battalion, and friends. The Tumblr men and the Cookie men. To start by defeating Laughing Jack. I will do some kind of horror-based story reading event stream.
Hell yeah.
Next week I will be playing Cookie Run Kingdom, so help me God. I will let you know if something does change, but in due respect that we may have called this Shadow Milk Cookie our enemy, we may have called him the betrayer, we may have said terrible things, but we do still have respect for them if you could fucking believe it.
Mm.
I'm sorry to use the F word. We
Mm-mm.
defeated Pomni Digital Circus. We defeated Pomni Digital Circus in the bloodiest battle that may be of this entire war. They put up the greatest fight you've ever seen. If you could believe it, the amazing Digital Circus perms. We will be doing a public watch along of the first 2 episodes, at least.
He would then kick off an entire week's worth of content, essentially dedicated to the Tumblr Sexy Man poll. He was deeply committed to this bit at this point, but longtime fans of Gavispittle know sticking to the bit was something he was great at. This round started with the Croaker up against Nikola Orsanov.
And that's why he's he fits, I think, ultimately, is there's criteria for Tumblr Sexy Men. And one of them is the bit. The bit is the highest priority, and if you're an individual who loves the bit, continues the bit, Tumblr will like you.
From Magnus Archives, and Hugh Morris was fighting the Lego Joker. And our competitor for this round was April 1st from video game MonsterCon. I've never played MonsterCon myself, but I am a huge fan of Jesse Cox, who is one of the...
And I've played Monster Prom, but I haven't gotten to MonsterCon yet. I should.
Executive producers of this game, so
April's
I'm
kind of
relatively
cute.
familiar with the franchise. At the start of this week, we thought this was our week to take a break. April definitely had plenty of her own fans, but none of the polls she had won previously had nearly the same amount of votes in the polls that Beetle had been winning. And throughout most of this week's competition, that proved to be correct. Beetle had quickly risen to a huge lead in the poll and held on to a 80-20 or 70-30 split in the votes for most of the week. This was finally our time to take a break, to decompress from these 2 incredibly hard-fought battles we had just finished fighting. We were not prepared for the counterattack. On April 27th, 2 days before the round of this competition was set to end, the developers, that's right, the developers of MonsterCon would launch a counterattack. They were releasing an April update to the game, and while they were releasing this, they decided to just add in the details of the Tumblr Sexy Man poll and where to vote for April and all of their official announcements for the update. They would go on to post this on Twitter, as well as an announcement ping in their Discord server. And they put this information on the official Steam page of the game. We were baffled. We had no clue this little poll would make it as far as to reach the actual developers of a real video game, and to see them taking this poll just as seriously as us was kind of mind-blowing. And their call to action...
That was so good. They're like... they had the same response Beetle and the Battalion did. They're like, our ass is getting kicked by some fucking guy, and here is our strategy to fix it.
Worked. And for the first time in this competition, we were no longer the underdog trying to make a last-minute comeback. We were the front runners trying to hold the line. And the line was wavering. Reminiscent of our second round comeback victory against Shadow Milk Cookie, April was very quick to rapidly close the gap. And suddenly, the win was within reach for either of them. We were losing ground at a rapid pace, and the speed at which we were losing our lead, it was looking like we might not make it out of this round after all. We had also, unfortunately, started to see something we had not really experienced in other rounds, and that was a lot of negativity being thrown at Gavispittle and his character design.
Listen, I don't know. I can check. People had to be stupid. People had to be so negative and unwhimsical.
This was definitely not the first time over the course of this poll we had
Sex.
seen similar comments, but back in the Shadow Milk Cookie fight, a lot of
False.
the hate was directed towards us as the fans for quote-unquote infiltrating the polls from outside websites, and those are opinions that
Over
really didn't
designed
bother a
white
lot of us,
boy.
especially because Mimosa themselves had said that the poll gaining traction outside of Tumblr in the way that it did, they had no problem with. And quite frankly, we really didn't see any negativity at all during our fight against Pomni, and going into that round, it was where we had initially expected to.
And it's so funny if... Oh god, it's so funny. People, because of the fucking Amazing Digital Circus leak stuff, recently, and a few other things related to it, people said, oh, Amazing Digital Circus, worst fandom ever, or whatever. But I don't think so, honestly. Because at least on Tumblr, at least the Tumblr segment, was capable of going through the round without much, posting, oh, I fucking hate, all your interests and VTuber people.
Against Pomni, and going into that round, it was where we had
All
initially
during her
expected to
own
see the
mom.
most hate of all. So to see so
People
much
would
of it
fuck
coming
a-
out of the Monster Prom fandom of all places
Oh.
was, quite frankly, a little shocking. And look, I have absolutely
And yeah, the MonsterCon developers, they have the right idea. Be respectful about the other contestants.
About and the developers at all. The devs went out of their way to make sure their fans were behaving
Because
politely during the poll.
as many problems I think as VTuber fans can have ourselves, in this community, the people participating in this poll specifically were very, like, friendly about it. Like, it was just funny.
And also went out of their way to show their support for Gavispedal as well. And I also realize this is not at all representative of the MonsterCon fandom as a whole. There are many Battalion who are in both fandoms as well. But to see so many comments insulting Gavispedal for his boring and bland character design just seemed completely unnecessary and a little bit rude. Mainly because these types
His shoes are giving Grinch. I mean, but isn't that a little jestery? Isn't that a little whimsical?
Of insults were a direct insult to Zenzaki Makoto, his character designer, who is beloved in the Battalion. And also, by the way, was aware of this poll and supporting Gavispedal in it, and had promised sexy Gavispedal fan art if he ended up the winner of this entire thing. And I know a lot of these insults came from people unaware that this man is a VTuber and by proxy a real person. And a lot of people kind of retracted their comments after they found that out. But I did see so many posts throwing around the words twink and corporate VTuber used as an insult, and quite frankly, it's a little bit boring and uncreative. During the last day of this round, things were desperate.
He has a fucking war station up.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Don't get that out of my face right now. I'm busy right now. For God's sake. Yeah, just get it done. Just get it done. Attention, everyone. Hello. It's happening right now. It's happening right now. Battalion, allies, friends, and families. of this ongoing conflict. At 0600, it was brought to my attention that a sneak attack was conducted on me in the dead of night by the Monster Prom fan base. Not only that, but the devs have seen. They've seen. We grew complacent. We grew weak. We will not falter. We will not fail. We've come too fucking far. The opponent is strong. They are breaking our defenses, but we will hold the line or perish.
He did make sure to reassure fans not to worry about the competition if anyone was not having fun with it anymore.
Yeah.
So, by the way, you do not by any means need to participate in this. I see people going like, I saw some things like people are like, dude, I'm not having fun anymore, or this kind of sinks, or whatever. You are not obligated. It's all, again, it's all just like one big kind of goofy. Honestly, it's just give me an excuse to theme a stream for the first 30 minutes. We needed some kind of side quest arc to blow out of proportion.
Yeah.
As we do.
We were still in the lead, but it was slowly slipping away, and with every minute
At
that
27,000
passed, we became
votes.
more and more concerned about Gavispetal's win in this round. So, once again, we made our final plea to the masses. We asked Niji Sanji for help again. And they came back once again to deliver. Alira Pandora and Shu Yamino were both back again in our time of need, 2 rounds in a row now. And with the added Niji Sanji backing, we were able to hold on to our lead long enough for Gavispetal to secure his win in this round of the competition. And I am honestly not really sure if we have been able to hold on to that lead for long, if not for the final push.
Also, I like that
Niji
he's
Sanji
purple.
fanbase in this final hours. So huge thank you to everyone who helped us vote for that.
Finally,
But as
you've
the final hour of
you've
the
learned my real
semi-final round drew
bias.
to a close, while we were watching the Battle versus April poll with bated breath and making sure we could guarantee his passage into the finals, there was also an insanely close race happening between the Croaker up against Nikola Orzanov from the Magnus Archives. I was watching this poll like a hawk, and in the final hour of the competition, I watched in real time as the poll was swaying back and forth between 49.9 to 50.1 favoring the Croaker, back to a 50-50 tie, and then going back to a 49.9% to 50.1, but now favoring Nikola, and this went back and forth like this multiple times within the last hour of the competition. And people were making a mad dash advocating for either side. Ultimately, at the time the poll drew to a close, the Croaker was in the lead, winning by 0.1%. Had the poll closed even 10 minutes later, this result could have been different. But as soon as all 3 of the round 4 polls came to a close, it was finally time for the grand finale of this entire thing. And the world was ready to finally crown its Tumblr sexy man of jesters once and for all. And so, with the close fought battle with April finally over, and with both the Cookie Run Kingdom and Monster Prom developers now huge Gavispetal fans, we had finally reached the
Grabbing the power of anime, and the power of the anime arc is you defeat an enemy, and they become your friend, like Vegeta, like Piccolo, like everyone you can think of, all of them. And our son Goku is Gavispetal.
the end of the road. Just one more poll against none other than current hot commodity Hugh Morris of Tomodachi Life and the Croaker, who might as well have been the embodiment of Tumblr itself. A battle that we wouldn't have even seen as easy or doable at the start of this poll, but after having taken down so many other titans of this competition just to get here, we knew our strength. We had the numbers of not only the Battalion and the Starmin.
Oh hey, it's Flayon.
We had the support of so many other VTuber fandoms at this point. And not only that, even some of the fans of our other fallen competitors were going to advocate for Gavispetal. And in what should have been the hardest fought battle of this entire competition, ended up being rather calm. No big upsets, no counterattacks, no last minute scrambling. And well, I find it to be rather poetic that we end this competition in the calm and unstressed way that it did, having now gathered so many allies and support along the way, all just looking to support our beloved internet funny man in a poll that means nothing, but at the same time stood for so much.
And the winner of the Tumblr Jester poll That's
Did
not
he
true.
actually win? Really? Not yet.
That was like
Oh.
my fucking newspaper at this point. That was like, he's against parties.
Oh shit, he won
Tried to kill Hollow
during
Stars,
the
he took down
Gartic
fucking
Phone
Pokey.
collab.
That's a very uphill battle. Poppy's winning. We gotta do something about this.
The poll maker has gotten a battalion Sona. We have an absolute bias on the field. The person that made the entire poll is now a battalion. Will people say it's rigged? Will people say there's favoritism? Am I a Nepo Jester baby? The answer, I don't give a fuck.
Go vote for Gavis Beetle as sexiest jester on the Tumblr poll. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Do you vote for Gavis Beetle? Yes. That's my goat right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's my goat.
Is that Gavis Beetle?
The one who everyone's voting for?
Beetle's winning the Tumblr sexy jester poll right now.
You better win. Do you know how iconic it would be to be oomphs with
That's literally what I said. I was like, that's oomph. That's oomph.
That's oomph.
The Tumblr sexy man?
See, how many people, how many contestants, besides the croaker, can you say, that's oomph about? Not many.
If I'm oomph, you better support my oomph too, you know?
Yeah.
I think you won against Pomni? Alright, awesome.
Like, especially considering the fact that I am oomphing, that should mean a lot more to you guys, because it's oomph.
He's so funny! He's the funniest.
Dude! Tumblr Sexy Jester Finals!
He's the sexy one!
And yeah, in a three-way.
And that brings us to the end of this
The votes would have been
long journey.
It ended up splitting the vote. The croaker and the humorous. It ended up splitting the vote.
And it feels incredibly stupid to get emotional over a Tumblr sexy man poll, but I can't stop myself from tearing up a little. It truly was so heartwarming to see so many areas of the VTuber community come together and unite for something as stupid as this. And it definitely did so much to help some of the Hollow Stars fandom out of the depression we were living in. And remind us, yet again, why this community adds so much fun and whimsy into our lives, and why we'll never stop supporting our Oshis. And with everything said and done, I just want to give one big thank you to Mimosa, the person who runs the Tumblr
Yes, thank you from me as well.
I don't think you or us expected this poll to reach the level of insane publicity that it got. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for putting up with us and letting us invade the Tumblr ecosystem for our stupid cause. I hope we didn't cause too much harm besides getting more and more people into Gavis Beetle and Hollow Stars. Thank you so much to everyone for watching this. It's been a blast being in the thick of battle for this entire thing. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this ended up being an adequate summary of this entire monumental event. And congratulations one last time to Gavis Beetle, the sexiest jester of Tumblr.
Anyway, that's it. And, I don't know when I'll be uploading this, but, I'm gonna do some more streaming, some more recording of other stuff that I had in my back pocket, because I'm gonna be sent into, the wage cage for, 6 days straight. But you'll see me on stream in between when I'm recording and when I'm uploading, for sure. See ya, bye-bye. Stay gold.